Hello again, my dear students. Welcome in today's video. Today we are going to talk about how to form a questions or how to form a question. For example, how to ask a question. In English, we have two ways for asking question. The first one is using the WH questions, and the other way, which is yes or no question. Here in the WH question, as you can see, you have to start your question with a WH word, which we are going to talk about later, and the yes-no question. Let's see what are the differences between these two kinds of questions. When we use the WH question, we asking for information. We ask the question to know a certain information. Now, what are the WH words that we have to use in the WH questions? Look at here. You have who, where you have to use who for asking about person. For example, like, who is that woman? And you have where, if you want to ask about place or a position. For example, where do you live? And you have when you ask about time or occasion, moment. For example, when can I see you? You are asking about time. And you have why, asking for a reason or you need an explanation. For example, when you ask why were you late? You need a reason. And you have what, asking for a specific thing or an object. For example, what's the matter? Or what time is it? And you have how, asking for a way, a manner, or a form. Like, for example, how does it work? And you have which, asking about choice. You need a choice. For example, when you ask which is better exercise, swimming or tennis. And you have how many, asking about quantity. Especially we use how many for a countable noun. For example, when you asking for something you can count. For example, how many people were there? You have to use how many. Or how many apples are there? And the last, you have how often, asking about frequency. How often do you go swimming? Okay, so for sure these are some of the WH words that you have to use in WH questions. Now we are going to know how we deal with the rule of WH question. How can we use the rule for asking, for forming a question? Okay, here for sure you have to start your question, as we said, with a WH word, the words that we talked that we talked previously. For example, what, when, who, why, how, and so on. Then you have to use the helping verb, which is do, did, have, will, plus the subject, plus the verb. Let's take an example. Here you have, what will I do? This is a question. Here, as you can see, we start with a WH word. That's why we call it WH question. A WH word, which is what. Then you have the helping verb. Then you have the subject, which is I. Then you have the base verb do. What will I do? For sure here, if you want to answer the question, what will I do? I will answer, for example, I will go swimming. I use the same helping verb that I have in the question will. I will go swimming. Okay, here is another way to ask the question with also the WH word. You have the WH word, what, why, where, and so on, plus verb to be, okay, which is, are, was, where, plus the noun phrase. Let's have an example. What is the date? Again, AWH word. You have a helping verb is and the noun phrase. What is the date? Here your answer should be today is. Also, I'm using the same verb here in the question. Today is Saturday, for example. Okay, so now it's time for some exercises or some examples, sorry. Here you have Sarah likes the color green. Now I want to ask a question. The first thing you have to do for asking a WH question, you have to choose which WH word you have to use for this sentence. Sarah likes the color green. For example, let's say here I want to ask about the an object or something to know, or a thing. So I want to know this answer. Okay? So I have to ask or start my question with what? Okay. So I choose my WH word for this sentence, which is what. Now pay attention. You have to check your verb. Where is the base verb for this sentence? The base verb here is likes. But pay attention, here you have S with the verb. And we know that if you have S with the verb, you have to change it to does. So what does? Okay, so we have the helping verb. Now where's the subject? The subject is Sarah. What does Sarah? Now the verb, but without the S because we already took the S for the word does. What does Sarah like? And question mark. Okay, so here you ask using you ask your question using WH word and with changing what necessary. Now let's see this example. My teacher is Miss Layla. Okay, now let's choose the correct WH word for this sentence. So here you want to know what? What do you want to know? You want to know the person, right? So for knowing the person, asking to know the person or using person, we use the word who. Okay, so we choose the WH word. Now, where is the verb in the sentence? Pay attention that you could have a base verb, like the previous example, likes, or you can have the helping verb, for example, verb to be, verb to have, verb to do. In this sentence, you have a helping verb, which is. So, who, for the helping verb, if you have the helping verb in the sentence, you have to take the helping verb as it is in the sentence and put it in your question. Let's see here how. Who is, this one will change because you are asking the other person. Who is your then teacher? Okay, so did you notice how we change the words? Who is your teacher? We took the same helping verb here in the sentence because I already having the helping verb. But if I have the base verb, for example, likes, I have to find what is added for the word to answer it with the helping verb. Okay, now we talked about the WH question, sorry. The other way for asking question is using the yes no questions. Sorry. yes, no questions. Of course, we use yes, no questions when we just need a yes or no answer. For example, when I ask you, is that you? Yes. Okay, I just need yes or no answer. Now let's see how we can use this kind of type of questions. As we said before, in WH questions, there are some special words that we have to use, which are the WH words. In yes no question, we have to use these words. We have the verb to be, am, is, are, and we have verb to do and does. We have verb to have and has, and we have the model verbs. Okay, can, could, will, would, may, might, shall, must. Okay, and of course you know the difference between each verb of this. Let's see the rule now. To ask the yes/no question, in this type of question, you have to start your question with the helping verb, not with a WH word. You have to start with do, did, have, or will. You have to start your question with these words, plus subject, plus the verb. Let's take an example. You have, do you have a pen? Do you have a pen? So here your answer should be yes, I have, or no, I haven't, yes or no. So I start with do, the helping verb do, then I have the subject, then the verb. Okay? And of course, there's another way using verb to be. It should be starting with verb to be plus the subject. For example, is this your pen? I use the verb is. Is this your pen? This is how I ask a yes/no question. Let's have an example. I have this sentence or this answer. I want to ask a question now. Yes, my sister studies every day. So pay attention. You have yes. So for sure you have to ask with a yes/no question. So first, if we want to start our question, we have to focus on something here. I don't have any helping verb to do, verb to have, or a model. I don't have any of these in the sentence. I have a base verb, which is studies. But there's something different in this verb, which is the S. The S is added for the verb. So I know that if I have S, it's automatically will be does. So my question will start with does. Does. This one should be your, because I'm asking her. She answered about herself. Does your sister study? Pay attention. Study without an S, because I already took the S here. Study every day. Does your sister study every day? I replaced the S with does, then I canceled the S with a verb. Let's have another one. No, the students are not very worried. The first thing I have to do is I have to find the verb in the sentence. Do I have a base verb like the previous example? No. I have are, which is verb to be. Okay? This is verb to be, and we said that If you have verb to be in the sentence, you should take it as it is for your question. So now you have to start your question using are. Okay? Are. Then, where is the subject? Here is the subject. Are the students very worried? Are the students very worried? No, the students are not or aren't very worried. Okay, this is the forming question rule, and this is how to use it. I hope this will help you. And thank you for watching. See you inshallah in the next video. Bye bye.